Okay, so our HTML is complete, so we can close that up, make sure it's saved, close it up, and then open up your style CSS. And we're going to be using a font for this. And I mean, the only place we have fonts is the heading and the timestamp, but I figured we use something different. So we're going to use a font called Questrial, I think it's called. Yeah, right here, Questrial. So we're just going to grab that and import it into our CSS. So let's paste that right here, and then we'll grab this font family and copy that, close that up, and let's put that in the body. Okay, so let's add our reset here with our box sizing. So border box, box sizing border box. And in the body, same kind of thing we've been doing. We're going to use flex to center everything. So display flex, except we want to set the direction to a column, and then we want to align items to the center. We want to justify content to the center and set a max height of 100 viewport heights and take away the margin. Okay, I think that's it. Actually, let's set the background. Let's set the background color to 666, which is like a medium gray, I guess. Okay, so the H1, I'm just going to make the H1 white. Okay, let's see what we have so far. Good. And let's see, let's do the screen. So the screen is this right here. So that has a class of screen. It's actually the video element, but I put a class of screen. And I'm going to put a cursor pointer because we're going to make it so that when we click on the actual screen on the video, it can play and pause. And then for the width, I'm going to set it to 50%. And set the background color to black. Now, if you want to set the background color to a video element, you actually have to add the important flag, which just specifies that that it's important and it should overwrite any other background color properties. And then I'm just going to make the top left and right corners rounded, because underneath we're going to have the controls, and the controls will have the bottom left and right corners rounded so that it looks like it's just one piece. So we're going to say border dash top left dash radius, and let's set that to 10 pixels. And then we want top right radius. And of course you can change things up if you want. If you want to do 5 pixels or no radius at all, you can always do that. So let's save that, take a look. Okay, so now it takes up 50% of our screen, and we have the black background, and we have the top right and left corners rounded. So the controls is this right here. We have a div with the class of controls here. What does this look like if I make this smaller? All right, so I do actually want to make this smaller, but this is too small on small screens on mobile devices. So before we move on here, I'm just going to add a quick media query. Let's make this a little smaller so we can see both at the same time. And I'm just going to add a media query here. And I'm going to say max width. So basically any screens that are 800 pixels or smaller, then I'm going to take the screen class and the controls class, and I'm going to set a width instead of 50%, which is the default, we're going to do 90. There we go. So now it's pretty much a responsive video player. So let's continue on with the controls. So we'll go right here above the media query and say controls, and I'm going to set the background to be a little lighter than black, so 333, and let's set the color to white. And let's make the bottom right and left corners rounded. So I'm just going to copy that and then change right here and here to bottom. Okay, so now it looks like it's kind of one piece here. So let's see, we want to align everything horizontally, so we're going to use flex. We're going to make this into a flex box. Okay, so that aligns everything. And let's justify the content to the center, aligning it that way, and then align items to the center like that. Good. And I think, oh, some padding. We need, yeah, let's do padding 10 pixels. Okay, so that's kind of shaping up. Now we want to style the buttons because these don't look too good. So let's go right here and say controls, and both have a class of BTN. And what I'm going to do is basically make them disappear. We're going to take away the border. We're going to set the background to transparent, and also make a cursor, a pointer on the cursor. Okay, so that kind of just takes away the the background and the border. Now for the icons here, I want to make them a certain color. I want the play to be green, the stop to be red, and the pause button we're going to insert dynamically because it only is going to show when the video is playing. So that will happen in the JavaScript. However, we can add the CSS for it now. So let's take let's say controls, and we want FA-play, and let's make the color of that. Let's make it 28A745, which is a green color. And then, actually, I guess, we'll just take this, copy it down twice, and this is going to be for the stop. And let's see, the color we want here is a red color, which is going to be DC3545. Okay, and then for the pause, which will be created within the JavaScript, we're just going to make that white. All right, so if I save that, now we have the colored play buttons. Okay, now lastly is the timestamp here. So let's say controls, timestamp, and basically I'm just going to make sure that the color is white, and I'm going to make it bold. So font weight, set that to bold, and I'm also going to add some margin left because you can see it's very close to the progress bar. So we'll just do 10 pixels left and push that out a little bit. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good, and if I make it bigger, whoa. Okay, so, oh, one thing I forgot to do, for the controls in the media query, I have it to 90%, but I forgot up here to set the width to 50% like the screen is set. So right here, let's say width 50%. There we go. Okay, cool. Actually, you know what? Let's make it a little bigger. Let's do 70. See what that looks like. Okay. I mean, when it's really big like this, it's a little too big, but yeah, I mean, it's up to you. However you want to do it. But I think that maybe 60 would be better. Right in the middle. You can play with it, whatever looks good to you. Yeah, that's good. I think that's really good. Okay, so we have the UI of our video player. Obviously, it doesn't do anything. Oh, that's one thing I forgot is the outline here. So let's take care of that. So we want the BTN focus. Set the outline to 0. Okay, good. Yeah. So in the next video, we're going to go ahead and make this thing function with some JavaScript. We're going to add some event listeners on play, stop. We'll have the progress. We'll have the timestamp using the video API.